Well, Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Cybersecurity Whisperer. I'm your host, Elliot Franklin, and this is our first episode of 2026. And if you're like me, your brain right now is about 40% coffee, 40% leftover holiday food, and 20%... Wait, what was my password again? I took a little time off to unplug over Christmas and New Year's, which was great, but the attackers, they stayed very plugged in. While we were arguing over whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie, the security news cycle just kept rolling, and today we're covering a 7 million crypto heist caused by an API key that absolutely should not have been leaked, a Chinese-linked espionage campaign quietly reading congressional email, a 6-year-old privacy misconfiguration that just ruined a lot of people's January, and a European Space Agency breach that proves collaboration tools are still the soft underbelly of modern society. And stick around for the end because I want to talk about shadow agents and why they're about to become every cloud admin's favorite new nightmare. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the story that should make every developer and security engineer physically uncomfortable. Trust Wallet confirmed attackers drained about 7 million from nearly 3,000 users. And no, this wasn't phishing. This wasn't malware. It wasn't even social engineering. The attackers published a malicious version of the Trust Wallet Chrome extension directly into the Google Web Store. Now, how did they do this? Well, they got access to a leaked Chrome Store web API key, which allowed them to bypass Trust Wallet's internal release controls and Google security review. One secret, one key, one very bad day. I mean, look, this is a masterclass in secrets management failure. A trusted browser extension became a data exfiltration machine because a single API credential escaped containment. So what should you do? Well, you need to audit your CI/CD pipelines this quarter. I mean, do you even know where your release keys live? Are they hard-coded? Are they sitting in a script? Are they in a forgotten .env file? I mean, look, if the answer is I think so, you're one accidental GitHub commit away from becoming next week's headline. So move your release credentials into a proper vault. I mean, you've got HashiCorp, Azure Key Vault, AWS Secrets Manager. Just pick one and don't let your browser extensions deploy themselves. Switching gears to nation state activity, because apparently 2026 wanted to start on hard mode. U.S. officials are investigating a suspected Chinese-linked cyber campaign tied to a known group as the Salt Typhoon Group, which reportedly gained access to email systems used by congressional staffers supporting national security and foreign affairs committees. I mean, of course. Now, this is not smash and grab ransomware. This is low and slow espionage. And they weren't classified networks, but they were inboxes where draft legislation and strategy debates and please don't forward these emails live. Think of it like getting the movie script before the film hits theaters. By the time the public sees the policy, the attackers have already read the deleted scenes. And so, look, Salt Typhoon, they thrive on valid credentials, long-lived access, and unclassified systems everyone assumes are safe enough. And so if you support government, DoD, regulated environments, review your email and collaboration access logs, not just endpoints. You need to be sure you tighten your conditional access for both staff and contractors. And if impossible travel alerts, if they're not already enabled, congratulations, you just found a 2026 quick win. Now we're going to talk about the boring side of security, the kind that still ruins lives. The Illinois Department of Human Services is notifying about 700,000 people of a data breach involving sensitive health and benefits information. Again, this wasn't a 0 day. This wasn't a nation state. It was a misconfiguration. Incorrect privacy settings that happened to be left in place for years. This is what I call a ghost configuration. Someone clicks a checkbox in 2022 to make a test environment easier to use, and in 2026, an auditor discovers a 700,000 record hole in the hole. No alarms, no alerts, just quiet exposure. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to schedule a configuration scrub for your public-facing portals. Use tools like Prowler for AWS or Microsoft Security Baselines for M365. Look specifically for any deviations from the baseline. I mean, if you can't clearly explain why something is public, well, it shouldn't be. And this is the stuff we talk about all the time on here. This is boring work. This is the basics. But it's also some of the highest ROI security work you can do. Well, next up, the European Space Agency, ESA, confirmed a breach involving collaborative engineering servers with a threat actor claiming access to 200 gigs of data, including API tokens, Bitbucket repositories, and source code. I mean, the mission critical systems were fine. Are you noticing a pattern today? Not the crown jewels, it was the side project server, the collaboration environment. We just need to share this with the partner system. In 2026, your security posture is only as strong as the weakest collaboration tool your team signed up for without telling you. So, look, if you're not already running some sort of SSPM, the SaaS Security Posture Management, run a shadow SaaS discovery. Review corporate credit card statements, look for reoccurring $10 to $50 subscriptions. And if engineers are storing code or tokens there, congratulations, that's now part of your perimeter. You don't secure what you don't know exists. And before we wrap up, one thing to keep a close eye on in 2026, shadow agents. Your employees are increasingly using AI agents to automate their work. I mean, you should. Writing scripts, pulling data, updating tickets, even making changes in cloud environments. But if an AI agent has write access and it gets compromised via prompt injection or poisoned input, you've essentially given an attacker a digital intern with real permissions who never sleeps. As I mentioned in my recent CSO online piece, the focus this year needs to be resilience, not perfection. So stop trying to build a wall that never cracks. Build systems that are instead easy to detect and contain and recover, because the attackers are patient and the tools are getting faster. As always, stay safe, stay a little cynical, and I'll whisper to you again next week. Take care.